him. By the way, I cut my hair. What are you doing? Babe, relax. It's just a video. It's okay. Do you want me to hold my hand? Hi guys. So today, as you can see, I've got a guest. So today we are filming a how we met video. So this is my husband, everyone. Do you want to tell everyone what your name is?
Okay. So yeah, my name is Nick, my real name, but I'm known by
Triple N.
Triple N. Yes.
Trip. That's his artist name. So my husband is a musician. So if you want to see more of his stuff or his work, click the link up at the top. But that's not what we're doing today. Today we're gonna talk about how this union happened and where everything just began. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Alright. So I'm gonna let him tell the story.
Ooh.
No pressure, but you know I'm gonna be putting my 2 cents in where I think I need to. So I think we should just start at the beginning.
Wow. Okay. Oh dear. The beginning was
In the
beginning. Actually, the beginning was very simple. Was a typical day for me. Early morning, just came from the gym. It was a weekend, was it?
I can't remember.
I think it might be the weekend. So it must have been a weekend or something like that, or maybe a Friday, one of those last kind of like days of the week.
Okay.
And I was just coming from the gym, and it was in the morning. I remember that quite well. So I was in my room, playing some tunes on my guitar.
Yeah.
And I heard a knock on the door, and that was my little sister, Clarice.
Shout out Clarice, my sister-in-law.
Yeah. So she came through, and she was like, Kaka, means bro or brother, come and say hi to my friend. That's my son in the back.
Yes, in the background. You guys will meet Nixon later on and my daughter Noella. But yeah, my son will be talking and repeating stuff we're saying. He's 2, but yeah. Don't mind him.
Absolutely. So I was like, no, I just stayed in my room. I was like, yeah, okay. But I can't remember what I said to her. But I was just like, I don't care. I'm gonna finish this song.
I think, okay, should I rewind just so they get both perspectives?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened was, my mom asked me, she called me up and said, girl, I need a wig, hook me up. Who do you know that sells wigs? So at the time I was in high school, doing my last year of high school, and I knew there were only about 4 or 5 African girls at Fairfield College at the time. Fairfield College, shout out to y'all in Hamilton. And so I knew this African girl, Clarice, and her and I used to talk and hang out now and again. So I went straight to her. I said, hey, do you know anyone that sells wigs? My mom would like to buy a wig. And then she said, yeah, my sister-in-law sells wigs. So she said, well, and I said, give me your sister-in-law's number. And so the African culture or the Congolese culture, we don't just hand numbers out. So Clarice was like, how about my parents and I take you? So yeah. How about my parents and I take you? So we met up somewhere with her parents and they took me to Giselle's house. Went to Giselle's place, looked at some wigs, and on my way back, his dad, so Clarice's dad, said, oh, I just need to stop by my son's place and to check out my tie or something. So he was referring to his younger brother to go look at the car, and they were flirting at the time. Him, his younger brother, and his uncle were all flirting. So we dropped by their place, and then Clarice, was introducing me to everyone, and you were the only one that was stuck in his room listening to music. Still does the same stuff. But yeah, and then she knocked on your door, and you were like, oh, come on, her little sister. And then yeah, take it from there.
Yeah, so eventually, I was actually writing. So which is actually the song. It turned to be Sila. So that's another story for another time, because I was writing it differently. I was just writing a love story kind of song.
Yeah.
But then it eventually ended up changing the words and stuff like that. So eventually I came out. And
isn't it funny though? You when they talk about like write your goals and everything and then visualize them. As you were writing that song about this girl, she was literally sitting next door.
Right in. So opened the door. I came out, and for my visual, what I saw when I got out was, I saw my uncle like right there. My brother Prince was in here. My uncle is Squad, by the way. And then my brother Prince was like right here. And then my stepmom was right there. And my dad was like right kind of where. And then you were like sitting by the TV.
Yeah.
That's on like kind of that corner. And as soon as I came out.
And I turned back.
Oh, wait, I turned left.
Yeah.
And then when I saw you, oh my God, it was like the end of the movie. Yeah, it was the end. It was that moment where everything kind of like take a turn. It was like a right turn, not a wrong turn, but it was the right turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, I froze for a second there.
Yeah.
Everything just froze.
Yeah. I'll tell them too.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked back, and I turned back, and I remember, the moment where you look at something and you're like, oh my god, I'm looking for too long, let me turn back. But oh my god, it's gonna be awkward. But I looked at him and I was like, oh my god, what a beautiful specimen. I had never seen, I was a shukatha. I had never seen a more handsome guy ever. I mean, what do you mean? Don't extract. You've heard this story. Like, I genuinely, all my girlfriends would tell you that I was never like that girl that was like attracted to so many guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just, living my best life. But when I saw you, I was like, oh my god. I literally was I was admiring your beauty, and I remember your beauty. I remember thinking, look at those arms, because he used to work out. So look at those arms. Look at the solid back. You know how every woman has their thing.
But I was dressed in, I don't know.
You had just come from the gym
and track pants.
Yeah.
I was so like regular. Like, it was the worst look ever. Like,
no,
how
but
you met me was the worst. I was in my pajamas. It wasn't pajamas, like the gym track pants.
Yeah. But I like that anyway. In general, that now that I'm all about that simple life. You know what I mean?
It was different, and for me, when I walked out of my room and I saw you, man, it was the end of the world. I just like.
Or the beginning of your world.
Like, when you have the Alpha and Omega, it's like the beginning and the end, right at once. And
he's
at that moment,
he's totally a pastor's son. Alpha and Omega.
Yeah, cool. So what actually happened that time was like, I knew straight away that you would want. Like, there was no question about it. It was just the time and when to get to that, to us being here today. So I was like, but because of how she looked, she had a lot of attention. I come from almost all boys kind of family, so you have everyone. Because I didn't see her first. There was other boys from my family that saw her first, way before she got to me. And look, you really couldn't take your eyes off her, as you can tell, as you can see as well. So it was just like, oh wow. at this point, I'm just like, I'm gonna be me. And I think what really kind of like helped me the most, I was at the very peaceful time
Yeah.
in my life. I was
Yeah.
just not like, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't thirsty, as you know, you would say.
No, but you had already, like, you had just not just gotten out, but a few months, like 6 months prior to that,
Almost
you
more than
had just gotten out of a relationship. You were just doing you.
I was just
figuring
me.
things out.
I'm like, at this time, I really don't care. I just wanna be me. I just wanna be focused. So I was not looking for a relationship. I was just like, I wanna live my life. I just wanna be me. I just wanna just be me, be happy. And then when that happened, I had a lot and lot of questions. I'm like, well, but I couldn't resist, when you have that kind of.
But we had a conversation.
Feeling, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah,
So
we
when
had
I
a
got there,
so-
when I got out, actually, not to cut what you're saying, everyone was quiet. Like, I was like, what's going on? And that's when I looked left, I saw her and I realized why everyone was quiet. Because again, my dad was there.
And also, everyone was trying to see how everyone was gonna react.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna,
It was so funny. It was really, really funny. So when I saw them, I was like, oh, this is awkward, So I was like, because, I'm known, I'm very outgoing.
Charismatic.
I just be me. So I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to let this slide. I got to make a conversation. At least if she leaves out of here, at least, I would have kind of like, be in the picture in that kind of way. So
So we had our first conversation.
So I greet her like, well, hi, my name is Nick. Your name? She told me her name was Priscilla, and then I was like, where you from? She goes, well, she gave the whole introduction.
Okay,
to
we're
South
not gonna
Africa,
get into too much
blah, blah,
details.
blah.
But it was a
we
general
carried
conversation.
Yeah, we carried a conversation.
Yeah.
We had a really good conversation. And then, for me, it's like, well, she's beautiful, amazing, and I met her. I'm like, well, she's gone. Well,
But you low-key
that's
thought,
good.
let's be real here. He low-key thought, man, she's probably like one of those girls, she's a player. She's probably like a bad girl, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because how she looked, by the way, I didn't say that. How she looked, she had short hair. Like,
I looked exactly
really,
like this.
almost close,
but with blonde.
blonde, short cut with glasses. These D&G
Dolce & Gabbana
glasses kind of thing, and she was like chic.
I had a
my
blazer
goodness.
on.
She was like, I saw her, I'm like, she works in the bank or something. She was just like. And I was like,
I was
oh,
in
very
high school.
intimidating. Like, the way she looked, oh my dear. Yeah, I got a bit intimidated.
I
can't lie.
I was still in high school. I was 17, by the way, and you
Yeah.
were 23 when we met.
Yeah.
And y'all can do the math. This is 8 years ago. We're going on our 9 years ago.
Yeah.
This is our 9th year. Yeah. So yeah.
So
anyway,
when I saw that, I was like, yeah, well, okay, that's one of those other days. Let it go.
but we had a good conversation.
We did had a great
It was
conversation.
genuine?
It was genuine. We were talking.
Yeah.
We were having a good time, good laugh, and it was so awkward because no one else could have joined the conversation because But my family kind of know me. I'm just that guy.
He's the talkative one.
That one. But now I'm not. There's heaps. We have
Oh, yeah,
Darius. We have Daniel.
But
There's
they're
heaps
all
of us
talkative.
now.
But they're all talkative in their own way, and I really would want to introduce you guys to the rest of our family one day.
Absolutely.
But anyway, and then let's fast forward.
Fast forward, she
to-
gone, she left and all that, but it was a lot happened. Just I think I had a gig that night, that weekend.
Okay.
I performed at a church.
No,
and
you
you've
did
been
perform at a
invited.
church.
No, didn't I?
No. You didn't.
Yeah.
This is when maybe around the time when you were performing, but the particular time. So what happened was
Remind
his
me
dad
of
is a
that one.
pastor, and so my mother-in-law, so that's my stepmother-in-law, his stepmom. She actually, I'll rewind a little bit before when we actually met. When we were leaving Giselle's house,
It wasn't
she
Giselle's
said,
house.
"Yeah." She said to me, I remember very clearly. She
I
said
mean
to me,
after the first date.
no, the first day,
Oh, okay.
Nyakaro said to me, she said to me, we are a Christian family, so this skirt is a little bit too short for us. Next time when you come, make sure you wear something longer. And I loved that. Like, I really appreciated that because I love it when people are honest in how they feel and they're open about it because they're real to me, and so that was quite lovely being introduced to them like that. So I had a lot of respect for that. And then, I think also me taking it in a good way, she then invited me over to her house for dinner to meet the rest of the family. And then after that, they invited me to church. So I was you guys can imagine I was looking forward to going to church because I was going to meet or see someone again. But that's not the reason why I went. I was actually going to church before that. But then I thought, okay, let me check their church out. And I remember after we met, I went home. They dropped me off. His parents dropped me off at home. And I called my girlfriend, Thandi. I called Thandi. She lived in Wellington at the time. I was like, girl, I just met this guy. And he is cute. I didn't even know they had guys that look like this in Hamilton. So we went on this talk and she was like, you gotta pay cool. Send me his Facebook. And I was like, I don't even have his Facebook name or anything. And then I found out over the week from your sister, and Clarice was kind of playing matchmaker because she was telling me a little bit more about you, and I'd ask her questions like, has he had other girlfriends? Has he had da-da-da-da? I was doing my research. Because I thought the same thing. I thought you were a player too.
Which
first.
I get all my life.
Yeah, but he's like the sweetest. He's not.
I get that all my life. Yeah.
So and then we met at church. And I was really looking forward to it. And do you want to tell them what you did when we met? I saw him coming in. I was like, oh my God, he's coming in. And then tell them what you did.
I ignored her.
He ignored is a small. He ignored me. Like he did not ever meet me. He just said, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, nice to meet you. Cool. And left it like that. And in my head, I was like, boy, you don't even know. It broke my heart. Aww. You broke my heart. Because I thought, how could you? I was thinking about you the whole week.
I know, I understand. I did as well. You were in my mind beyond, But the thing was, you had an entourage. Ooh, everyone was around you. Like, you were that kind of like, you looked like a celebrity. Everyone was there with you. Everyone have a conversation with you. Everyone want to talk. And it's
always like that.
It wasn't at Eastside Church.
No, you keep talking about that. You didn't have a gig at Eastside Church.
But we met at Eastside Church, the church that we went to.
Yes, yeah. But I never saw you perform. I didn't even know.
Oh, that probably that. But when I saw her, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna be that guy. Just put myself into whatever's already happening. I'm like, nah. So I said hi. I actually said hi, but passively.
Yeah.
I was like,
you didn't even maintain eye contact for more than 2 seconds. Like it was a hi, how are you? Just like in a passive way, and my heart was broken. I was like, well, there goes that opportunity.
Yeah, well, you gotta play it cool, you just can't be thirsty. You don't want to look like so desperate, I was like, I didn't want to play that game. I just want to see how far it goes because there was a lot of attentions. Understand, as I said before, I come from almost all boys, and she was already.
The boys were not all.
No, I'm saying, but not really. But I wanted to play my part. I wanted to play cool, and I didn't want to, come to you and be like, So I was like, I'm gonna play my game. So I gave you a pass.
Yeah.
On that day, but. We ended up catching up again.
It wasn't the whole day.
You were invited for
to
dinner.
Practice. So what they used to do.
Was it practice or dinner? You invited to dinner that night, that day.
Practice. You keep getting it wrong.
I'm forgetting.
So that day we went back. So what they used to do every Sunday, they'd go back to their parents' house, and everyone would do this choir practice, and then they would eat and have a good time, So I was invited to that. So we went there. We practiced. You guys were singing. And then we had dinner, and then afterwards, Giselle and the husband were going to take me home. And then you asked if you could catch a ride with them. And so we all went in, and we were in the back seat together. And in my head, I was like, boy, since you swerved on me, because I was not about to ask him out. It doesn't matter how much I genuinely liked him. I was not going to do or make the first move. And so by the time we got to Giselle's house, Giselle approached me and said, "Oh, Nicholas would like to know if you won't mind taking a walk with him."
Jeez, I forgot that part.
Yeah, and I thought that was the sweetest thing. Like, so I thought it was the sweetest thing that he asked the sister-in-law to ask me if I'm okay, you know, for him to take me for a walk. And the sun was still out. Well, it was evening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Around this time.
Yeah, I thought that was just you. I thought you were being a gentleman. You know, I thought that was like the cutest thing ever. And so we went on this walk, and he held my hand. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay, well, stuff I forgot, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna look at you trying to remember.
No, actually, he didn't actually hold my hand. He just put his arm out like this because we're going downhill, right? And I was wearing heels after church. You know, I had my church shoes on. So he put his hand like this, and I wrapped my arm around his, and I thought, oh, he's such a gentleman. Oh my god! And I actually did. I thought you were just so sweet. And we had a beautiful conversation. We went down. This is the park by Hamilton Bridge. Is it that one? Hamilton Bridge?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
by the Waikato River.
Yes.
And there's a beautiful park down there, and the bridge lights up. You know, the one by the police station, for those who know where Hamilton, New Zealand is. The one by the police station, it lights up when it's evening, and it was very romantic. So we walked down, and then we sat down by the bench, and I actually... Okay, we'll talk about the bench later. But the bench is very significant, guys.
The bench.
The bench. We sat there. We had our first deep conversation. You know, you really told me that you... No, first you asked me, you know, about my story. You just wanted to know my story. And I told him, like, I was born in Lesotho and, you know, all these things. And I asked him the same. And we just genuinely had a lovely, you know, conversation. And then, you know, he asked me what I want to do in my future. And I asked him the same. It was very... And then it just slowly... And you were joking a lot. Like, you were making me laugh a lot, which I thought was lovely. And it became very personal. And then it became very... what's the word? And then afterwards you were actually shocked that I hadn't been in any, you know, like serious relationship or anything. Because he had that mindset that I was like one of these girls, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was like,
Yeah, don't blame me.
I was a Catholic girl, you know, Christian girl, very good girl. And him too, you know, he was a Christian guy, you know, very lovely guy. And I think that's where we actually bonded, in that we had similar morals. And you gave me space. You were very respectful, very sweet. And then on our way back up the hill, I couldn't go up the hill in my heels, so I took them off and you held them for me. And then it was chilly because it was, you know, dark by now, and so he gave me his jacket. It was all very cute. And then we went up, and then he said something like, we had already gone over, like, are you in a relationship now? So when we were talking, and so we had established that we're both not in a relationship, or in relationships. And then you said to me, I want to get it right. I'm going to paraphrase, but but he said something along the lines of, look, I really like you. And, you know, after the deep conversation we had, and knowing how the whole past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he was just on my mind. And that morning he had swerved me, so I thought, oh, I was a bit heartbroken. But then, you said to me, oh, actually we missed a part. So the week before that, you had asked Clarice to call me to ask for my number.
Yeah, that's the whole point, because I hadn't got to know you. We had moments of
but we remember
just
there was
passing each other.
There was a week that we had texted. We
Yeah.
missed out the crucial part. Guys, okay, so the week before this romantic talk by the Waikato River, he had actually asked his sister to ask me for my number. And then he got my number, and he'd text me. And he'd text me, like, at night, oh, have a good night. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Done. And it wasn't anything to sustain a conversation. And then I'd say, thank you, you too, bye. And then first thing in the morning, he would say, "Good morning, hope you had a lovely night, have a good day, bye." And then I'd say, "Oh, thanks, you too, bye." And just like that. And consistently for a week and a half. And so what he was doing, girls, was that he was trying to get me to think about him. And I would never try to text back to sustain a conversation, by the way. Like, I'm those who's like play hard to get, make him, fight for the situations, you know what I'm saying? So he would want me to think about him before I'd go to sleep and first thing in the morning and the whole day. And that's really, you were successful. 'Cause that's really what was going on.
Yeah.
And so fast forward to the Sunday where he swerves me and treats me like, and I was like, oh, this guy. And then we had the romantic conversation, and then fast forward to on our way up the hill, he said to me, I don't think I'll ever get this moment again with you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, look, I'm going to be very vulnerable and open with you. I really like you. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know me. And he was like, well, we just got to know each other, and I'd like to get to know you. And then I was like, oh, well, look, the situation is, I don't know. It's just, look, I like you too, but I really am not ready for a relationship at the moment. I'm still very young. I'm still gonna da-da-da-da. And then he said, all right, just give me a chance. And then I was like, okay. And my heart was like, oh my God. And then he said, look, I love you. And then when he dropped the L word, I was like, but how do you love me though? Like, we don't even know each other.
Yeah,
and,
I did, guys.
Yeah, and I was like, what are you doing? And then he said, and then I said, okay, look, you obviously don't love me. And then he was like, no, I know I love you, and I know you're gonna be my wife. And then at that point, I was like, what is this? Like, what are you talking about? You are crazy. Are you weird or something? And then he was like, just give me a chance to prove myself. And if you are not happy, I understand. And he said, I just know that this moment won't ever come again between us. And that to me, when he said, just give me a chance and you have an option, when you feel like I'm not the one for you, cool. And that to me was lovely. And I saw him being very authentic, and you were very vulnerable. And then I said, okay, one condition though, you have to meet my family. You have to meet at the time my brother, and my brother is very protective of me, and he even said it like, any boyfriend of y'all, they have to meet me first. So I said, one condition, meet my brother, and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do anything. That was your word. I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the sweetest thing, baby.
Absolutely.
That was very cute.
That's pretty much how we met. It goes on and on from the part from when we met the kids, and before that, the actual action of meeting the brother. If you want that,
if you want more,
just let us know.
And then
there's a bit of a drama with her brother.
No, there was not drama.
Yes, there was.
Look,
there was.
My older brother.
Not Gary. Anthony and his mate. What's his name?
Craig.
Craig.
Oh, really?
Craig was actually nice, but who was the one who was telling me what would have happened, what could have happened, what the possibilities. But eventually, things turn out. But just if you want to hear that part, just let us know.
Let us know. Comment below.
But so far.
But also, this was how long ago? 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And then, guys, let me tell you something about the bench.
That should come later.
No,
bench, because the bench is it's a big deal.
I know, but no. Let me tell you. I'll just give him a little bit.
Okay.
He then so you asked me out November 13th, 2011.
Okay.
And then December 18th, a month later, he proposed to me. And it was a secret proposal, because in my head I was like, boy, I cannot marry you, I'm only 17. And then he was just like, I'm in love with you, and I want to prove as much as I can that this is real and you are for me. So he proposed at the bench, guys. And then we'll tell you more about the bench later. But yeah, that's how we met. That's how we met, and that's how we became what we are today. 2 kids later and married for what, 5 years?
Married for 5 years.
Yeah.
Married for 5 years.
Oh, baby. But yeah, that's it, guys. So if you want to know, if you want any more of this, if you want to see him more, I will introduce you to my little ones. But yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, I cut my hair. It's my first video debuting my haircut, but you'll see me in wigs again. Whatever. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, baby, for coming on my channel.
No, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's gotta go. All right,
That's
and the kids are calling us. All right, love you guys.
Next time.
Bye.